And good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody all over the world there. We've got ourselves a great Week 7 match here in the ALTTPR Invitational League. We've got ourselves a little co-op info share enemizer where you get to start off with some boots. So we're going go fast from the word go. My name is Dazed Cloud. I'm going to be joined in the booth today by Drossi. How you doing there, buddy?
I'm good. I am psyched for this match. We got a lot of good runners here tonight. You want to tell them about these lovely runners?
Well, these lovely runners are coming to you from the Lost Woods division of the Invitational League. Now, Sexy Ganons over there, we kind of are missing their number right now, but they've got 24 points on the season. They are 100% taken care of. They're done. They're qualified for the playoffs. Everything's fine. Sphere-finity on the other side, 12 points. They are free from relegation, so this isn't really a super important race as far as like playoff positioning or anything goes like that. Sexy Ganons obviously want to win, maybe improve their positioning, but yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at so far here.
Yeah, it's really, Sphere-finity gets to relax. I'm sure they, want to do their traditional get up to within one game of 500 one way or another like they do every season. And yeah, Sexy Ganons probably wouldn't mind a bit better playoff seating.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of what.
Oh, I was just going to say, Sexy Ganons has had an impressive season because they've really been like seesaw. They were 11-3 in season 2, and then they were 5-9 last season, and now they're currently 8-4. So up and down and up, and you never know how these guys are going to do.
I mean, the quality runners on both sides here is we're going to start off quickly with a key in the Sanctuary and hard pieces in Link's house now. So you see immediately both teams have split up and they are going to different places just to try to get everything that they need as quickly as possible.
So Yagamoth is doing uncle routing while GFE is actually setting up a Houlihan, it looks like.
He's used the bonks to go off of those early, or off of those things to set himself up on the pixel that he needs to get into and do that easy fake flipper here. Kind of surprising that we're seeing that, especially since Sabotender, the first thing that he picked up was 300 rupees out of bonk rocks.
Yeah, I'm sure he told GFE, but GFE just kind of felt committed.
Now, looking down on Yagamoth's side there, I did not see anything coming out of the Uncle opening, but we're going to get a quick look at what's on there. There's a mushroom
Oh
sitting.
boy, just what you love to see, right? And that looked
It,
like two useless pendants on Desert and Hera and a regular crystal on Eastern.
yeah, so the action is going to be coming extremely fast, especially here at the beginning. So, like, we're going to just try to figure out exactly what we're doing here. Now, GFE is going to take a minute here, farm for some bombs, not getting any there. So he's going to have to go again for one more time here. He really only needs 3 bombs to go through most of Kakariko here. Gets 1, gets 2. That's probably going to be enough.
Oh,
At that
nice.
point, you
And a
just go.
third,
Oh,
even from killing the enemy.
yeah. Now on Yagamoth's screen, we got one of the best features of Enemizer here. He's walking with a fish. He's going to take this fish, he's going to take it and throw it to the bottle vendor, who is going to give him just an absolute bonanza of stuff here. Now, watch everything that pops out there. That's that's a that's an 8 bomb
Yeah.
pack, full magic, 20 rupees, 10 arrows. That is just everything that you could possibly want.
Also, we saw some interesting enemies in the Lost Woods. In fact, Freddy took a death to a Gibdo in the Lost Woods, and there was also a Beamos in there somewhere.
Of course there is.
Oh,
And how about a
wow.
bow? Oh, a bow, a mirror, and the moon pearl in
That,
the well. And flippers in Blind's hut.
and we had Ether in the back of Tavern, so this is Stackerico.
Yeah, we got a ton there. Just a heart container there in the back of the chicken's hut. But in this sort of mode, that's really, really good. Is we got blue mail and a mail, and I want to say that was Quake. There in this, so apologies to our trackers there. There is a ton going on right now. You're gonna have to do the best you can there, as we got Siriu X and Scott there behind the scenes clicking the buttons. Thank you to them
And
today.
apologies to our viewers, the SpeedGaming website has been having trouble for the last several hours, and that unfortunately extends to the trackers, so they may be very delayed.
Well, we are pushing through here as as Sphere-finity here is just taking a little bit of time here, going ahead and filling up all of this stuff there. They are now equal on things that they pulled out of the well. And yeah, I guess at this point it is kind of a question of exactly where are these guys gonna get going after this. So, looking forward here, we're going to see GFE go ahead and grab the stuff out of the bottom of Blind's hut, and he's going to save and quit here. Now, probably we got to see both GFE and Sabotender there go ahead and split up in just a minute, and probably one's going to head south, maybe one will head over towards the eastern area, and it looks like GFE is going to go to the eastern area.
Yeah, that's how you typically divide it up, especially with boots. You know, you don't even need bombs for Saha's hut.
Sabotender takes a brief second there, goes ahead and buys some bombs. Now GFE's down here, running through on 2 hearts. Gotta have to be a little bit careful. It's always kind of interesting to see what enemies show up at the Eastern Palace area, but that looked pretty tame. As we see a green pendant in Thieves Town today.
So we know all our pendants already.
That does look that way.
And we are 2 medallions in at less than 5 minutes, so even though we know we will need to get into Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, hopefully that's not too much of a problem.
Right, and it looks like over on Yagamot's side, he's already into the water there, using the flippers that he just got. Looks like on Lake Hylia Island today, there was the Cane of Burna, and there's Bombo's medallion underneath this. Ooh, Sabotender, nice dodge of that Wizrobe's beam.
So we've got a full coin collection, and that's what the flippers were leading to as the hobo gives Yagamoth the hammer.
Alright, so that is almost, at this point, for these runners, we're really kind of looking for some fire. Fire would really come in handy, I think.
Yeah, and Dazed is going into Eastern without a fire source. You might have a few things to say about that.
Dazed going into, I mean, that's GFE, but yeah, sure.
Sorry, GFE, you're Dazed. Sorry, right.
But yep, we're gonna do that, and we'll pull a sword out of Mini Moldorm Cave there. That'll be a lot easier. Now, if GFE can pull this off, getting through Eastern here without a sword or without any sort of a lamp, I'm going to be extremely impressed. But this is the type of thing. Now, anybody who knows GFE knows this is his favorite mode.
But the other thing is, we do have boss shuffle, and until you get the compass, you don't know who that boss is going to be. If it's a vanilla Armos Knights, he's set, but for most other bosses, he might need that sword or hammer.
Yeah, no, you've got a really good point here. So yeah, we're gonna have to see him make his way through this. Sabotender goes to Ice Rod Cave, doesn't get anything. Zora just throwing 3 bombs over to Yagamoth's side. So I mean, geez, there's so much happening right now. It is really hard to keep track of. We're gonna do our best on this side just to yeah, doubt things out as we see it here. So. And all right, we've got a glove inside of the Eastern Palace for GFE, so that is a big find. So now we kind of know, I believe, exactly what our path into Dark World is.
Right, and as soon as Sabotender gets to the hobo, Sphere-finity will know their Dark World access. On the Sexy Ganon side, one of them's gonna have to dip Eastern unless the other glove is somewhere obvious.
And that's a hook shot in Eastern Big Chest over on GFE's side. So,
wow.
Man, Sphere-finity finding everything real quick. And, getting even lucky because the Dark Room has enemies that you can see in it. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, they're not easy enemies because that one red beetle there, he takes off some damage. But, yeah, gets through that no problem on GFE's side.
Definitely using the hook shot both to stun enemies and as kind of an echolocation.
Yeah, well done there on his side here. He's kind of missed the door, but finds it there on the second side. As Yagamoth's about to go into Midi Moldarm Cave, pick up his sword and a couple other things. As they're sitting at Yagamoth's sitting at 7 hearts already here in a seed like this is really important. And we get the news that it is Trinex on Eastern Palace today. GFE gets that compass and just says, you know what? I am out of here. Thank you very much. I'll come back later.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before we get a couple of rods. And we should note that this is full boss shuffle. Every boss is guaranteed to appear at least once and no more than twice somewhere in this seed.
Yep, that is kind of the fun of this here. Is Yagamoth very rudely dashes directly into a Lionel there in the desert area. Did get to see that there was the Master Sword sitting on Desert Ledge today. So kind of have to do the best he can there. We'll have to come back for that later because there's not a whole lot of point in going back for it right now.
Right, and it's also unclear how our access there would be. Are we going to find the boot or are we going to find flippers in the other glove? Flute in the other glove. Something that begins with FL and is blue.
Something, right, exactly. As over here on Freddy's side, their first chest of escape there, turns out that has a Master Sword as well. So that sword that we saw in the desert might just be our Tempered Sword at this point here. As we're making our way through here, gonna have to, unfortunately, wait a little bit to kill some of these enemies, but Freddy making through no problem.
Yeah, though that key that we got sank at the start does put Zelda's Cell here in logic.
It's true, yep, that is one thing that we'll have to kind of see exactly what enemy we got here, not expecting anything hard. Yagamoth dashing through here, and we just got a Stalfos there who has the big key. Freddy picks that up, no problem.
You know what they say about Randomizer, making hard rooms easy and easy rooms impossible.
Oh god, yes. I mean, we've got some fun ones coming up now. Best thing for these runners is that we did pick up all 3 medallions, which is one of the things there that can turn this game from you run into a room just like that is god awful, like the one Freddy is currently in, and you just go ahead and just take one of your medallions out and just nuke the place here. So looks like that might be what we do here.
Yeah, especially if we wind up going into pod without a fire source. Bombos is a very popular way to get through the Dark Terrapin room in the basement.
Freddy into Dark Cross here. Gonna try to get to whatever it is in this. GFE about to head into the dark room. Freddy down to 1 heart. Gonna have to try to get to the map. That is unfortunate. So we're gonna go full dark on Freddy's side and try to go all the way back to the back of Escape here. Now this is ambitious.
And GFE is our first runner in the Dark World, finds the red mail in Hype Cave, along with Half Magic and the Mitts. Wow, that is a pretty hype cave.
Yeah, no, that is fantastic right there. And unfortunately, it looked like Freddy did not quite make it all the way to the back there. But going ahead and just gonna get out of there. Probably finds out from Yagamoth that everything that you need is in Eastern Palace. Get your butt over here.
And we see that our 5-6 crystals are in Skull Woods and Pod.
Yep, so that's going to be kind of an interesting thing. You probably want to send, if you can, try to send both runners to one of the runners to the 5-6 crystals there, but so that way you can open up Pyramid Fairy. But you know, sometimes the game's not going to let you do that, as Freddy's trying to get around that little jelly dude, but didn't want to move for him, so ended up losing his spin speed.
And GFE, having a bow and a hammer, is heading into pod. Depending on the boss, he could be able to full clear this.
Yeah, and again, we always talk about like pod Dark Turtle Room being just such a roadblock there. Well, it's less of a roadblock if the enemies are kind and you've got bombos. At that point, it becomes pretty straightforward. You just press the button and everything dies.
Now, one interesting thing is that Randomizer does not take into account kill room changes, so even though we're not going to get Gurias on the right side, it's still logically bow locked, which doesn't matter to us because of the bow, but it affects the key logic.
Right, that's something we might have to keep in mind here. As Yagamoth picked up a shovel there out of the back of Escape, so the items are just coming fast and furious here. We got so much open to these runners right now. Like we've got Swamp Palace open. We've got Thieves Town open, but you don't want to do Thieves Town. That's the green pendant. We've now got Ice Palace open with Bombos. So I mean, man, take your pick where you're actually supposed to go now.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know who the bosses are, so you don't necessarily know what you'll need to beat them, though a sword and a hammer are sufficient for most.
Well, the other good news, though, is that Trinex is already known on Sphere-finity side. Now, Frede, unfortunately, does not know that. They didn't go back for the key back there. So, unfortunately for him, they are gonna find out the hard way if they make it all the way back there. They're down to a single heart.
Oh, wow. So, interesting. I mean, I guess we were missing the compass in the map, and I don't know if he decided this would be easier or if he forgot that the compass tells you who the boss is now. That this was actually just an improvement in the latest release, so it's only been around for like a month or so.
Yeah, no, true. And the other thing that I'm kind of watching here on Frede's side is he's passed a few like free hearts and didn't pick them up. There you go. Finally picks up one of them here and comes into this room. This is a room that I just nuke if I'm Frede, because like there's enough in this that it's kind of scary.
And you got your medallions.
Yeah, he unfortunately takes a death there right before finding out that he couldn't complete the dungeon anyway, so that's kind of unfortunate over there on the Sexy Ganon side. A couple of deaths right before they wanted to see some things, but yeah. Well, moving on here, we got GFE moving into into pod here as we've got Sabotender working his way through the village Valcast. We're into a Smith chain at about 15 minutes.
Wow,
Which is,
I mean,
totally normal.
Boots plus mitts plus mirror, you do Smith chain, why not?
Yep, and that's a lot of fire bars down there in the bottom of pod as GFE had just picked up the lamp to make it much easier to be able to see everything.
So most people don't think about how the Smiths actually cost money, but they actually cost Sabotender 9 rupees on net.
Thanks, game. But yeah, no, you were right. There, you gotta pay 10 rupees for these jerks there, and yeah, if they only give you a rupee back, then you just kind of get angry. GFE's in easy mode now, having the lamp here in Randomizer, being able to see exactly what sort of enemies are going to kill him in the dark rooms today.
That also gives us all of Death Mountain in logic, light and dark.
Oof, boy, man, just. So what do we need to complete the game at this point? That's the big question, right? So we know we need Fire Rod and Ice Rod.
And Cane of Samaria.
Cane of Samaria. So we need the
what and Flute we need to get to Meyer.
And we're gonna need Flute. Yep. Okay. So I mean, we still are missing quite a bit of things. But then again, we're 20 minutes into the game.
And there's our first bottle in C-shaped house, and Sabo can just mirror and turn it into Sick Kid. And he is doing exactly that.
Yeah, it seems like the smart play for sure. I don't believe we found a compass in pod, so GFE is just going to have to go back and hope.
I thought we did, but, I mean, he has a hammer, he has a hook shot in case it's Argus. I think he can beat anything but Trinex.
Okay, I'm mistaken here. Okay, it sounds like pod is going to be Argus here, so I mean, it doesn't really matter, yeah.
Okay.
At some point there.
Bit annoying on Fighter's Sword, Sphere-finity has not been into Escape to find their Master Sword.
God, look at that Thieves down on Sabotender's side there. There's 3 Lionels in this section here trying to shoot them the best they can here. This is one time where you just drop down or run back the vanilla way. Ooh. Alright, Sabo's getting brave here. Well done. So, quick question there. If one of the, like we mentioned there, one of the upgrades to this last section here is that when you just saw Sabotender picked up the compass there and checks the vanilla map, and you will see exactly, there is a boss icon now to tell you exactly who it is you're going to be facing. So Sabotender now knows that Landmolus are going to be the boss here in Thievestown, which is very easy for him to beat with his current setup.
Well, I mean, it's still a bow and hammer fight.
Yeah, it's not fun, but it's, doable.
It's also interesting. Thieves' green pendant, interesting strategy on Sphere-finity's side, and Yagamoth's doing the same. And this is another thing about Randomizer, you don't have to bomb the ceiling. The boss is just there, so Sabo's going to do the boss before he does the back of Thievestown.
I mean, this makes sense, right? Like, you can just come directly in real fast, just take care of it. I mean, it's basically, if you can beat the boss really quickly, you should probably just go ahead and do it. Frede's gonna sit here and play, can I get this diver down off before the Wallmaster gets me?
Yeah, that's another quirk of Randomizer. All vanilla Wallmasters are there, and you get additional Wallmasters from Randomizer.
That he just got
was
off there.
Nice.
All right, GFE takes down Argus there for his first crystal there. First crystal for the match actually on both sides, and we'll go ahead and walk on out of here. Sabotender takes down Landmo. He's going to pick up the powder. That's interesting. It's
and again,
timely.
You can mirror and do Magic Bat right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's timely. You're right next to it. I mean, you're not going to have really a better chance, especially since you've already came through and done the Smith chain.
And for those of you who've recently tuned in, we apologize for the problem with the trackers. The SpeedGaming website has been having problems for the last several hours, and that extends to the tracker apps. So our trackers are trying their best. Huge shout outs to them for dealing with this.
That is an interesting front of the pyramid right there. On GFE side, 2 rollers, giant rollers going back and forth on both sides there. That's a way to do it. And you get rewarded with a book on the pyramid.
And Yagamoth has 2 Landmos down here, so he's about to get his powder. But the powder doesn't lead to anything.
Here as GFE's stopping in the... Oh, right, because there was a sword here in the first chest of this. Now, Frede, again, is going to play, can I get this diver down off before I get nailed by the fire snake here? I don't think he can. He did it. All right,
he used the iframes from the bomb.
Yep. Well done on Frede's side there. A couple of really clutch diver down there with bombs. Sorry, just making me laugh. The whole ridiculous of this. Randomizer is hilarious to watch.
So our bottom 2 runners are now doing the rest of Smith Chain. We'll see K45. No, I guess GFE did K45, so Sabo doesn't need to.
Yep, and so for new information here, we're going to get to see really fast on Frede's side exactly what we need to kill over in this little area. So we dash up and we get a look at, oh, it's just blind. Now, not the easiest blind, because he's already starting at the top of the ceiling here.
Right, can't exactly do a script.
Yeah, so this is where blind actually becomes kind of a pain in the butt. It's where we did see that cane of Burna on the island right now, and Frede did not choose to pick it up here, but oh wow!
Yes, Frede's down to 1 heart,
and he pulled it out there, but ooh boy, that was something. As there you go, over on Frede's side. Takes down Blind there with 1 heart remaining. Gets his first crystal of the day as Yagamoth is going to finally show us what's in Agina's cave here.
Yeah, now I wonder when someone's going to do the mountain, because we've now had, well, I guess GFE is the only one who has logical mountain access, though that means Sphere-finity as a team knows that the mountain's in logic.
I kind of imagine that he's going to do that here in just a second, as
he decides against doing Dark Cross, despite having that lamp.
yeah, I don't blame him there, because, I mean, he can just come in from the Sanctuary side and find out if he actually needs to do that when he checks the back of Escape, right? You know?
Oh, true.
And,
and he hadn't even gotten the key.
yeah, so there you go. And so Frede goes ahead, picks up the blue cane, and now we're going to go into Ice Palace here. So this is going to be Samaria-less Ice Palace, which, not super fun.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice to dive, given everything that's open.
I mean, you kind of got to do it there. You got to go ahead and try to figure out exactly what boss you got down here and such like that. It can give you the information. You don't know where that Samaria is going to pop up. If it pops up in here, you're gonna be golden. But you do usually want to wait.
Sexy Ganons haven't done pod yet.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good point.
So
that was
what I was getting at, that they chose ice over pod.
True. I guess we'll have to figure out exactly what we see from these guys in a second here. As Yagamoth's going to go into the back of this. We just saw King's Tomb over this, and that's not a pleasant room on Frede's side. Run.
And he forgot that he didn't have Samaria and tried to Icebreaker, which is impossible without Samaria.
And he successfully runs away again, and
Sabotender still hasn't learned Diver Down. I give him a hard time about this.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, Frede ends up taking a death there, so he's not going to be able to go in. Now, GFE is making that mountain trip real fast here. Yeah, no, Ice Palace is, I think a lot of times is one of the dungeons that is most greatly affected by Randomizer. Just, like, as you can see, some of these rooms that you're just like, oh, it's just like 6 pen gators. Well, yeah, sure, 6 pen gators in the vanilla kind of open mode. They can be a lot of other terrible enemies when you just walk in here. This room.
And in terms of, like, terrible enemies, GFE doing the old man, that's actually a situation where you really want the lamp. Because once you grab the old man, you can't do anything else until you've returned him home. If you die in that cave, you are respawning in that cave until the end of time, and if you don't have a lamp and there are some impossible enemies in there, sucks to be you.
Yeah, there's a way out of it, and I know GFE has told me many times what the way out of it is. It's something just like, just whatever you do, don't save and continue.
Right, right, because you can always continue without saving, and if you need to, you just reset, and then you're not in there, but... lost all that time.
Yeah, but then the other thing with that is you have to remember to do that and not, like, tilt yourself. Now, bomb jumps and Randomizer sometimes are a little wonky. We're going to see exactly how Frede handles this Ice Palace bomb jump. And not a problem. So, alright, good on his side there for sure. And GFE into Hera here. We're going to actually stop to pick up a compass because it gives us the information that it's Vitreous at the top of Tower of Hera today.
And GFE is like, no thanks.
Aw, come on, GFE. You can totally handle that with your tiny little...
Did he check Ether Tablet? I see he has the book now.
I think so. Yeah, it was Junk, one of our trackers there, Siri UX, they're letting us know that, yeah, Ether Tablet not actually having anything for us there.
Now, not that Sphere-finity's been to the desert area, but that is their access to that sword.
That is true. That is true there. So I mean, when they get over there, eventually they will find out that they have a tempered sword just sitting there waiting for them. Right. And there you go, a fire rod there in Spiral Cave over for GFE. That's a nice little one to find for sure.
So that now makes Skull Woods a play, because you can do the whole thing at once, and again, just hope it's not Trinex at the back. Actually, it can't be Trinex in the back of Skull Woods. The room's too small.
Right, exactly there. There's a few places that Trinex can't show up, and that's one of them, luckily.
Yeah, he can't be on the Moldorm platforms, and neither can Armos or Lanmo or Blind or I forget who the Argus, I think.
Yeah, things. I can't remember either. I usually just play the game and kill whatever's there. Probably should actually think about it at some point. It looks like we've got a little bit of a confirmation there that we've got another Argus in ice. Like you kind of mentioned, with the full boss shuffle here, there are three duplicate bosses in this mix, and the problem is we just don't know who they are.
But we know that Argus is one of them.
Yep. So
and Ganons know that too.
Very, very true. Now the other kind of crazy thing here is that does mean we could we run into maybe a Helmicopter in the back of Skull Woods. We could run into everybody's favorite Ice Trinex there in GT. But we'll have to see. GFE's still making his way through the top of the mountain here as Sabotender are going to go and pick up the book. Freddy not really getting anything out of this Ice Palace.
Sorry, I missed that entrance to Pyramid area last time. Now I can see what you were talking about.
Yeah, it's a bit of a thing. Like, you're going to walk into that, you're either going to take damage or you're going to have the blue cane.
Well, the blue cane's in logic.
Oh God!
For not picking it up.
Oh God! This that spike
hookshot cave with that spike.
Yeah, that spike ball there. That well done on GFE's side for getting through this. Now I'm curious how he's going to handle this turtle. Very quickly switch to the hammer, and turtle's done.
And hookshot cave was worthless. The best thing we got there was a heart container.
I mean, in Randomizer, you're not going to say no to that. GFE's sitting kind of prettier now with, what is that, 9 hearts? But,
okay, I'm looking, and the 3 Lionels that would normally be there were transformed into a fish, a mini Moldorm, and a mini Helma.
Yeah, I mean, that is, like you said, is sometimes the harder rooms are easy, and that is about as easy as you can get there, because you usually dash through that going, okay, I gotta dash through these Lionels, I gotta use the hook shot, and this time it's like, nah, just run, you're fine. Alright, Freddy, that room that Freddy's in, right before Cold Stare, is the room you always are being a little bit nervous waiting for a wall master to drop from the ceiling, because that's a rite of passage in Randomizer where you get caught by caught by a wall master right before you drop into Cold Stare, and that feels bad.
It's even worse than when you get caught dropping into Moth.
Yeah, and the other place you got to actually watch out for that is at the top of the GT climb. Every once in a while, you will run into a wall master up there, and you want to quit and never play the game again. Just have that thing catch you. All right. On GFE's side, I guess we're gonna go into. We've got ourselves into Skull Woods here and take this fun little fire rod we picked up and do something with it.
Yeah, well, we'll find out soon enough who's the boss.
I'm still. I mean, I am I am a man of simple pleasures here. I will always say, hey, please give me a helicopter because it's just fun. I will
thought you were
squeal
going
like...
to always say Tony Danza.
Nah, but... Oh, no, they... well, that anti-fairy's gonna be there for the rest of the seed. On GFE's side. Yeah, boy. Fun times here. Yagamoth working his way through his Armos Knights fight here. Gonna take him down in just a minute here. Unfortunately, no fire rods or ice rods or silver arrows to take down this phase 2 any faster, so sword spins are gonna be the way it is. Looks like we are into the back for this. Frede making his way up the mountain in the dark. Always a bit of a thing as we get a nice view of a chain jump sitting there on the... We've got chain jumps all over the place here in Skullwoods. This is gonna be a little difficult.
It's funny how they multiply. Like in the vanilla game, there are 2 chain chomps and they're in one room, and then you play Randomizer and there are chain chomps everywhere.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that way if you just dash forward without any, you know, semblance of care there, you're gonna get yourself in a lot of trouble. As this is...
I just thought it was funny. Right as you say, dash forward without any semblance of care, and Sabotender does that and bonks.
I mean, that's the way you play the game, though. I gotta point something out though, real fast. Really unfortunate thing over on Yagamoth's side there. They are gonna dip themselves into basically almost a triple dip of Eastern here, because they did not pick up the compass out of the back the first time through. So they do not know that this is a basically an uncompletable dungeon on their side. So this is going to be a pretty significant time loss for them.
Right, because Freddy never quite made it to Trinex.
Yeah, he died in that room right before this, and it is a Helmacopter. Oh,
nice! I
yes.
love me some Helmacopter.
Look at that tail. It's a thing of beauty. The fun thing is that tail, actually this is one of the, I want to say, not easier rooms to fight Helma in, but it is significantly easier than you would think until he does this. and charges down in front of you like this, and then you can't really do anything. Now, GFE
He's
plays
got half magic. He's using Burnistrats. I like that. It's laggy as all get out, but it works.
I mean, he's not gonna die, which is like the most important thing that he can do right here. So yeah, he's going well through that Helmacopter there. Gets his compass to find out that, hey, by the way, you just killed Helmasaur. More importantly, gets another crystal though. So I'm not 100% sure how many crystals that is for GFE. I want to say 2. I think that sounds right.
Well, he got the one out of pod, and I don't remember him beating anything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember there.
Meanwhile, Sabo's on that Argosyn pod.
And we get a quick ped check to find out that it is just 3 bombs, so we don't actually need to go ahead and kill any more pendant bosses unless they have the ice rod.
So yeah, and now across our various runners, we have seen all 4 crystals that we're able to get. We've seen Swamp and Pod and Skullwoods and Ice. Turtle Rock requires the cane, Mire will require the flute and the cane, and Eastern will require the ice rod.
It's a palace probably for our next move here. It's kind of hard to figure out exactly what we're doing here, what we need to do next. I mean, it could
Well,
just be the front of Skull Woods, which would probably feel bad for these guys.
Yagamoth's in Hera, and GFE noped out of Hera as soon as he got the compass and saw the boss. So, and Yagamoth is staying in. So there are two items in Hera. Vitreous isn't going to be pleasant, but he's in logic.
Well, and the other thing is, apparently we missed this, but I'm seeing calls for Kane in the back of Skull Woods there.
Oh,
On
wow.
GFE's side. So we've
Okay.
got a Cape and Kane here on GFE's side. Gonna wait to get a little bit of confirmation because I did not see that, and that is a giant spike roller.
So GFE can full clear Turtle Rock then, as long as it's not a vanilla Trinex.
That is the fun. The moment you get the compass in these seeds here, you check that map immediately, unless you can kill all of the bosses and it no longer matters.
But it looks like GFE is doing the North Dark World checks before he goes to Turtle Rock, which I don't blame him for.
And it looks like Sabotender making a beeline for Skullwoods here as well, kind of making it seem that yeah, it was a pretty good chance we've got ourselves a red cane in here. Now, if we got it, it should not be in this chest, but the next one, I believe.
But did Sabo get the Fire Rod yet?
No, but I mean that red cane. If you go back up to
Oh, so he's probably gonna combine it with a Death Mountain play, get his Fire Rod, and then immediately go into TR.
which makes perfect sense, yeah. I mean, that would be the smart play to go, because you're still looking for an Ice Rod, and come on now, we all know the Ice Rod is located on Laser Bridge, because some things never change.
Oh, and there was the cape in Skull Woods as well. We know Bumper Ledge is dead, but it's sure a nice item to have as a safety. Especially when you have to fight Vitreous with the Master Sword.
Yeah, which Yagamoth did for a blue pendant here, so they are kind of hoping that there's going to be something big down here in the basement of Pod here, because that could turn around this seed really quickly on their side.
You mean Basement of Hera?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Basement of basement.
Some basement that you don't really like going through.
Yeah, the basement where you have to wait and drink coffee, I believe is what we call it. But
that's a
anyway.
pretty nice setup from Yagamoth. He was almost off the blue tile, but still manages to get his coffee break.
And yeah, at this point, okay, so for new things, I guess we're going to look at Sexy Ganons for a moment here, because we got Freddy heading up towards our good friend and yours, Catfish, and we've got Yagamoth down in the basement of Hera, not Pod, Hera, but for 3 bombs.
So Hera is a complete, total, and utter bust.
Yeah, I kind of agree with GFE's play of not touching this. I mean, the difference between this and a lot of the other co-op seeds that we play is that this is this is just 7/7. We're not doing all dungeons, nothing of that there, and it looks like Catfish is also a bust. And so yeah, you don't necessarily want to dive pendant dungeons. Now sometimes you don't have a choice, like the normal game, but you know, if you can, you're not going to do it there. As Yagamoth is just going to bonk off of every single wall in Spiral Cave, but is going to be rewarded with the Fire Rod in just a moment here.
And Sabo's doing the same thing with fewer bonks.
And you can see Freddy getting that information that the Fire Rod is on the mountain here, immediately saving and quitting from going over towards the Lost Woods and Skull Woods area there, and gonna immediately go up for that. GFE trying to get this diver down to work here. This is gonna be tricky here. See, he's letting go of the sword. He's letting go of the sword. If he keeps the sword out, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be able to get the drop here. But let's see if he gets it this time. He might get it this time anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so new information here. Yagamoth going to give us Bombo's tablet really quick, and dear God, this
Good.
Turtle Rock entrance. There's the flute on Bombo's tablet there for Yagamoth. That's a big one.
Wow, that's a good find. And yeah, having that cape turns out to be really useful for activating Turtle Rock Portal.
Yeah, and that is a quake to get in there. So Sabotender's going to, of course, go directly in there and try to figure out exactly what else to do.
I mean, it was nice of the seed for those horrible enemy placements that it did give us both invincibility items pretty readily.
Yeah, I mean that's the truth. Like this could be a lot worse. Because we did get all 3 medallions really quickly. We did get both invincibility items here. We've got a bug net. We've got access to bottles, even if people don't want to use them. Um, like, like as it goes, you have the ability to kind of get through the seed without getting completely wrecked. Now, sometimes the seed won't let you do that. You're just going to get wrecked over and over and over again. So, with the flute, Yagamoth is gonna go ahead and go into the mire area. We're gonna get a look at Mire Shed, and then I imagine go directly into. Well, we might not go
I'd
into
grab
Misery
the
Mire.
Tempered Sword first.
Yeah, they're gonna do that, and probably. Man, this is unfortunate. They just have not dipped the front of Skull Woods
Oh,
at all
wow.
yet.
GFE has grabbed the big red bomb. I don't think we've seen that yet.
Nope, that is new for sure. Both of these, it's kind of interesting. Both teams right now are missing something that the other one has. There, I mean, the flute on Sexy Ganon's side, kind of a big deal, but at the same time, the Cane of Samaria that is just sitting in the front of Skull Woods right now, also a very big deal is on Sphere-finity side.
Yeah, and the Sexy Ganons do have the Fire Rod, so it looks like Freddy may be making the Skullwoods play now.
Yep, we're going to activate that flute first, and I imagine that's where he's going to go. There's your Ice Rod sitting inside the pyramid today, so that is a huge news there for GFE, so GFE and Sabotender.
Is that an extension of the rule of fire rod locks rod?
Sure. we'll go with that one. So that is basically the one items left behind on both sides there. That is the biggest, the most pressing item that for these runners to find is we now know everything.
Yeah. So now, what does GFE do? Because yeah, he finished off Swamp, and the thing is, you finish Swamp, you can either go left and check Bombo's tablet, or you can go north and do Pyramid Fairy. He chose north, but now he's going to have to go back and check Bombo's tablet, and he missed Catfish.
Oh wow, he missed that. He missed the bonk off the wall there, and is now swimming
also
away.
True.
Gonna come back, see the heart, and decide that I don't need any part of that.
Oh, I think GFE's doing the Ice Palace play now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, with Samario, it's going to be a lot easier. I don't believe we saw Sabotender go in there yet, so it might be a little while before they get to that. Ice rods, not the ice rod, but get to that flute. It's the Sexy Ganons are the ones that now with the Cane of Samaria there will have the ability to go ahead and get to their Ice Rod, and it's the moment that they do, they will hit go mode. So this is going to get kind of interesting. We're going to have a very tight race here, I think, towards the end, depending on which team can get to the right location the fastest.
Yeah, it was interesting. Right after Yagamoth fluted away from the Mire area, Freddy found the Samaria. So that means Yagamoth knows that he made the right decision to flute away.
Right, and looking through this right now, our 5-6 crystals today were Pod and
Skullwoods.
Skullwoods. So trying to see here now. doesn't look like Fredde has finished pod yet, so it might be a little bit longer before they find that ice rod. Kind of an awkward situation for them.
But hey, with that Samaria, GFE gets to use Icebreaker and Ice Palace, so that saves Sphere-finity quite a bit of time right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a much easier way of dealing with Ice Palace when you can just kind of avoid 90% of the difficult stuff.
Especially in Randomizer when you don't know what you're going to be facing.
Yeah, not having to worry about pulling that tongue or anything there, that's kind of nice there. And Fredde is into his fantastic Helmicopter fight here. Best thing about Helmicopter there is that tail just cannot hurt you this time. As long as you don't walk into the front of Helmasaur too much, you're pretty safe.
Yeah, the issue is when Helmasaur goes down like this.
Yeah, no, now we've got issues here. This is when you got to remember that you do have invincibility items, and we should probably use them. Or you can just hit them 4 times with your super awesome Tempered Sword, and that'll be that. Alright, Yagamoth's turn to try to get his diver down here. Gonna have to get the timing on this almost exactly right. Alright, waiting for the firebar to pass. Jumps in. Unfortunately there. I think it's just with so much going on there, yeah, might be better to just bail out of this here. And unfortunately, I think he's gonna get sucked in through the door. He didn't get sucked in. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's rare when runners manage to avoid that. And Sabo has to be careful, though. He does have the powder if there's an anti-fairy in this room. Doesn't seem to be, though.
Yeah, and did we happen to find a compass here? I did not see any indication that we know what we're about to run into.
Yeah, if we did, I missed it.
Well, gonna find out in just a minute here. Hearing some people in chat saying it's a landmo. If that's true, that'll be our second landmo of the day. And yeah, that's gonna be a landmo.
So we've seen 2 Arguses, we've seen 2 Landmos.
Have not seen a Cold Stare yet, haven't seen a Mothula, haven't seen a Moldorm, haven't seen Armos Knights either. So, I think that's all of the ones that we're missing.
Sabo making very liberal use of that fire rod, but when you have half magic, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you don't necessarily worry about being accurate. You just you go for pure suppression at that point. And nice use of the ice rod there on GFE's side, taking down the Argus there as Yagamoth moves into his blind fight here in Swamp.
And I guess... Oh, it looks like Sabo might dip Hera. That's unfortunate. GFE's doing a reset. Where's he going?
That is a very good question here. If he
Link's
goes
house,
down to...
If he checks Bombos... Is this the Bombos check?
Possibly. It does kind of seem like it. I can't think of any other reason he'd come down here unless he's going to go down to Ice Palace, but he's already... No, he hasn't done Ice Palace yet.
Done Swamp, I think, hasn't he? Yeah, no, this is the Bombos check. Sphere-finity's about hit go mode.
This is fantastic news for them. Sexy Ganons on the other side here. Unfortunately, they've got the 5-6 crystals split up between the 2 of them here. Between the 2 of them, they would be able to find the ice rod in the
Let's see how quickly Sabo gets the heck out of Hera now.
Yeah, it's like, and there's a mirror.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, I don't need to be here. Okay, I'm leaving.
Though I don't know if Sphere-finity knows about that tempered sword on Desert Ledge. It's not very hard to check once they flew to 6, but will they check it?
That is a $1 million question right there, because you could just walk right in and go, I'm in go mode. I'm not going to take a minute to hop down off the ledge. That
Now,
seems like a
that
silly thing to
said,
do.
I don't think they really want Master Sword Silverless go mode, so they probably will do some checks to try to find either a sword or the silvers.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there for sure. It's a Master Sword Silverless is a good 4-minute, 5-minute fight if something goes a little bit on the opposite side. But if you got a tempered sword, it's much easier.
But GFE is just going straight in, so for the moment, Sphere-finity won't know about Desert Ledge.
That's kind of a shame here. Yeah, but we're going to go directly into this. Doesn't really matter what the bosses are at this point, because on Sphere-infinity's side, they can kill everything. They've just got to go and take care of. GFE is going to have the easiest path here, because he hasn't done Turtle Rock yet. So when he goes up there, he's going to be able to make Turtle Rock his last dungeon.
Right, and Sabo's going straight for Helmicopter so that he can get his Ice Rod.
Oof, that is a nasty front entrance of Meyer there. Pokies and goodies.
Yeah, and on Freddy's side, we're going to see more of Meyer because, again, they haven't found the Ice Rod, so he's going to be clearing stuff, and wow, that spike is nasty.
At some point, GFE, just take out the bombos, okay? Just kill everything. Meyer 2 today is just a giant collection of guards. Just take out the bombos and nuke the place.
Oh, and Freddy's even going for the vanilla big key chest, though I don't think we've seen the big key yet, so the big key could be vanilla, in which case GFE's going to have to come down here too.
I mean, that's the best case scenario for Sexy Ganons right now. Is for Sexy Ganons, you kind of want the big keys to be in the most time-consuming places possible, so that the other team is going to have to do the exact same thing. Because if they hit go mode in front of you, you're going to still be looking for items, so you're going to clear everything.
But at this point, everyone's full cleared everything now except for GT. Like, I mean, I guess we haven't gone into Desert, but then again, maybe Freddy will, if Yagamoth hasn't done Pyramid Fairy by then.
I mean, Yagamoth is going to get to it the first, for sure. But then at that point, yeah, it's kind of a question exactly who and when is all of this going to happen. Oh God, Sabotender just with the amazing positioning of this Helmet Sword, just not giving any space at all.
Fortunately, he does have a fairy that he used his nice bug net to pack.
All right, crystals for both Yagamoth and Sabotender there, who are. To be honest, at this point, I don't really know how many crystals both teams have, but we do know that Sphere-infinity is in go mode.
And GFE did, of course, go to the lobby chest before checking cutscene chests, so he saves that time. But yes, the biggest question, given that it looks like Yagamoth is going to do the Pyramid Fairy check and Sexy Ganons will be in go mode in a minute or so, is will Sphere-finity find a tempered sword?
That is a question here. Because that could be a big thing there if they decide not to do that. If they decide not to check that Desert Ledge, I mean, you would kind of think that the other sword is going to be in GT, but you don't know where. If it's behind the key, like the key's first, you're not going to get it.
Right, and like, do you do any quick checks after you finish Meyer? Is Sabo gonna be tempted to do a couple of checks after he activates the flute before he dives Meyer?
That's a hard question to ask here. Right now, Sabotender is gonna make his way. Looks like we're just gonna run to activate the flute real fast, which makes sense.
No, he's doing the big red bomb to get his ice
Oh,
rod.
now he's got to get the ice rod.
Speaking of ice rod, sexy Ganons are now in go mode.
And there we go. All right, so now this is a dash on both teams' side to see which one can finish off the rest of their dungeons first. All right, so Yagamoth is going to go immediately back to this Trinex here in the back of the Eastern Palace. Very
so
quickly.
The fact that GFE is running out does lead me to believe he's he's doing Meyer Shed. So the question is he going to check Desert Ledge while he's in here?
I mean, to be honest, you've got a mirror to flute anyway.
True.
So, yes, should be the answer, I think.
I would hope so. I mean, it's pretty easy.
It's right next to you. Let's find out.
Here he goes.
Use the mirror and quick dash. He's going to get rewarded.
Had to dodge the duck because he was expecting it to be nothing.
Right. All right, so that's going to probably give Sphere-finity a bit of a lead going into this final stretch here. Looks like GFE has just got Eastern Palace and Tower of Turtle Rock there left.
Yeah.
Sabotender looks like we've got just a Misery Mire, Ice Palace, and Eastern Palace left there. Kind of unsure exactly how accurate some the dungeons are because like we mentioned earlier, there were some issues with SpeedGaming today.
Well, Yagamoth will be the first of our runners to actually face Trinex.
Yeah, and unfortunately going to be facing Trinex. Oh, he does have a tempered sword. Okay, all right. So
it's fine.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier.
What was the Meyer boss? I forgot already.
I honestly can't remember. Nothing of consequence?
Well, I'm just wondering because there are certain bosses we haven't seen.
Right.
They're saying Moth, so that's why it was nothing of consequence, because Moth outside of his vanilla location is pretty inconsequential.
Yeah, I mean the Meyer room fighting Moth is one of the worst ones in there. One of the worst places you can run into Moth just because you will take damage from the floor, but nah. Even then, not that big a deal.
So we still haven't seen Armos Knights or Moldorm. Or Cold Stare.
Well, we've got GT left to go see here, and trying to think. We did not see Desert Palace, so there's something in Desert Palace still. We don't know what it is, but there is something in there. Sabotender taking one look at this entrance into Meyer and going, no, I'm not gonna mess with that.
Yeah, that's how you want to do it.
He'll probably do the exact same thing in just a second here when he gets to Meyer 2 and sees that it's just as bad.
Yep. Half magic's nice for this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, getting that Bombless Medallion as early as we did there definitely makes things a little bit easier. And now when you only have 2 of these guards left, that's a lot easier than like 7 of them at the same time.
And Freddy elected not to get his lamp.
Oh, that is such... I mean, I understand the play, because, I mean, I did that in a practice seed the other day, but the problem is that the Turtle Rock Dark Room without a lamp in Randomizer can be unbelievably difficult.
And, I mean, he's doing pod basement without a lamp, too. And, well, at least you see where all those fire bars are.
Yeah, I mean, that one by itself is too bad, but like, yeah, no, I'm more worried about the Turtle Rock Dark Room because I don't remember what enemies are in there, and if you can't see, you lose a little bit of your guide, and you can get yourself lose a lot of time in there just because you decided not to pick up a lamp, going, I don't need it, I'm fine, and then remembering too late that, oh yeah, this was really useful. But takes down his pod Argus there, so that's going to be his other 5/6 crystal, which means he can go get his ice rod.
And meanwhile, GFE is up to his Turtle Rock approach, and then it's just GT.
Yep. Sabotender making his way through Misery Mire there. We got Yagamoth on his way to the other Argus that we got down here in Ice Palace. And yeah, Frede's about to run up and pick up his ice rod. So yeah, both teams right now are just trying to complete the game as quickly as they can. I mean, the whole reason that we're having these this fun times here is Yagamoth setting up for an attempt at a zero cycle there. Pretty nice there. Kind of hard to do that when you don't really know what's coming in, and especially when you drop in, you're losing a second. But pretty good time there. And down goes our friend Argus there as Sabotender goes into his Mothula fight. Immediately tries to spin and then remembers, oh yeah, right. And there goes Moth on Sabotender's side there. Had to take a second to make sure that he didn't basically accidentally kill himself by walking on that poison too much there, but everything good on Sabotender's side. As he gets, I want to say, crystal number 6.
And remember, Sabotender is also the only one of our runners, I believe, who's sitting on a ferry.
Yes, yeah, that is just, I mean, that makes life a heck of a lot easier for him, for sure.
Okay, so Sabo's gonna do Ice next, and then he'll just have Eastern. Yagamoth is into Mire. Sexy Ganon still haven't touched TR, which makes sense because they managed to get Go mode without going up there, but it is kind of a long dungeon.
Yeah, right now, out of the 4 runners, I'd say GFE is in the lead.
Oh, definitely.
But, and when kind of important to mention again that when you're scoring these, it is the average time between the two runners there. So even if GFE finishes first, if Frede and Yagamoth finish like at a decent time ahead of Sabotender there, we could still have a situation.
Though, honestly, as things currently stand, since Sabotender is the only one of our runners who actually has finished Turtle Rock, it would not surprise me if he's in second right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a talk with him after this race. He still doesn't feel comfortable with Icebreaker.
Well, we're gonna get to go see the.
Oh no, never mind. He was just flipping the switch. Okay, phew. Because he and I have been talking for months about how he really needs to learn Icebreaker, and I thought he had finally learned it. So yes, it looks like he will be doing it.
Gets through that nasty room there. GFE picked up his key out of the lava chest. We got Frede about to go into his Trinex fight here in Eastern, making good use of that Tempered Sword.
one thing about Trinex and Enemizer is that the ice head no longer puts ice in the room because it's a safety precaution. We don't know what room you're in. Could be very annoying in Vitreous room where there is that kind of poison area you don't want to step on. The interesting thing is, even if Trinex is vanilla, it still doesn't put ice on the floor.
I did not actually know that. I probably should know that, but I didn't.
We had a race last night where Trinex was vanilla, and I noticed it.
Oh, cool. All right, GFE gonna attempt again to go get the key out of this vanilla chest here. Picks it up, and he's gonna make his way onto his second Landmo fight.
And Freddy is fluting to the mountain. He just has TR to go.
Yeah, and it looks like Yagamoth is going to be joining him pretty quickly here. So this is going to be rather tight towards the end.
Yeah, well, the difference is both of Sexy Ganons still need to do TR. Sabo only needs to do Easter.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that is true. Sabo is going to have to climb the mountain one more time. But yeah, overall, you'd still rather be in Sphere-finity shoes right now. But that, like we mentioned, this is Enemizer. We were kind of joking about, we've got wall masters in GT and stuff like that. That is an actual thing. These runners are going to be aware of that.
So Days, we should mention that GFE just grabbed his 7th crystal.
I guess.
So spam those numbers in chat. You can also make a prediction if you happen to have points on SpeedGaming 6. You can bet on odds or evens there. But yeah, it's pretty clear that GFE's gonna get most or all of his searching done before Sabotender gets in there, so it shouldn't be anything weird that would disrupt the numbers.
Right. And here we go. We're seeing Sabotender pull out his flute. He's headed to Eastern. And we've got Freddy and Yagamoth into Turtle Rock right now. So we're going to see some things. GFE, with his first check here, going left, he's going to pick up a small key off the torch.
And now we are in Stalfos room. I assume he's doing the so-called Dark Magician strats. Ooh,
He's got his mirror out already.
Yep. I believe that was our last bottle.
Ooh, wow. Lots of keys up front here. We got 3 keys on the left side here on GFE's side. So we're going to take these keys. We're going to go to the right, see if it's in Compass Room.
Or maybe it's just in Hope Room. Nah,
it's never in Hope Room.
Well, if it is in Compass Room, Dark Magician was the way to go because there wasn't a small key in Hope Room.
Yeah, no, I mean, this one route is, I would say it's probably my preferred route as well anymore, just because if it is up front, you do get the key as quickly as possible. There's not really a right route for GT routing. There's a route you take and that you just kind of hope works.
And 8 is a heart container, 9 is a piece of heart, 10 is a heart container, and 11 is a big 20. So that was just a red room.
Yeah, definitely right there. Looks like and GFE smartly looking at his keys, realizing that he's got 3 keys in his possession, not needing to go on to the get that one key past the mirror portal, saving himself a little bit of time.
Yeah, and I would imagine he feels comfortable enough with where he is that he didn't feel the need to, do anything crazy like full right.
Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, no need to do anything like that. That's a nice spike trap right there. Nice one. As we're going to make our way a little bit further in. Sabotender into his Trinex fight there. Got both heads down. He's just got to deal with the last part. As Freddy and Yagamoth unfortunately get the bad news that this is a full TR clear, as the big key was just sitting in the middle chest.
And this is Sabotender's 7th crystal. So Sphere-finity's race to lose at this point.
And how about some silvers in GT right there over on GFE's side? So he's gonna. There's not a whole lot of easy ways
it was in my
to
favorite
do there.
chest too. That was number 14.
Added that. There you go. 14 was the right answer today. So if you guessed 14, congratulations. If you guessed even numbers, then you're gonna get some channel points coming your way that you can use for the 5 times a year that Speed Gaming 6 is actually active.
And let's shout out Ulrich81 for guessing correctly.
All right, so now this is going to be great for Sabotender here, because that with GFE already being into GT, knowing exactly where that thing is, I'm kind of interested that Sabotender is going to go this way where we know that there's all of those chain chomps and Lionels and a whole bunch of other stuff. That he's going this way instead of going through the Dark World portal at the bottom of the mountain. But
so given that big key location, like, it's basically automatic to get the silvers in this seed, which is nice.
Yeah, there's no way you're not getting that. It's, ooh boy, GFE. I think accidentally went to go back and then was on the conveyor belt and then just ended up going down. Alright, Freddy and Yagamoth making their way to their Landmo fight here. Sabotender into GT, opening it up right now as we speak.
This is a kind of annoying gauntlet. You know, none of those enemies are that bad, but all of them at once, and when you have to deal with the conveyor belts and the spikes, it's just annoying.
Yeah, the Armos Knights there, they really make it bad. Because I mean, you can handle everything else there without a problem, but the Armos you have to actually walk up and like get close to.
And now we have a room that's just a plain joke.
Yeah. It's like, welcome to the gauntlet. The hardest enemies in the maybe not today.
If he thinks about powdering the bunny beam, there's our cold stare.
And we needed one of those eventually, and this is as good a place as any to have one.
Still haven't seen Armos Knights or Moldorm. We're not going to see Armos Knights because they can't be on the Moldorm platform. So Armos Knights are either in Desert or Ice Armos. And the sexy Ganons are now both in GT. They are taking opposite directions, except that didn't quite work out because Yagamoth discovers there's no small key in Hope Room.
Hopefully for their sake, they just go full right, but you know that's not going to happen, unfortunately. So, yep, and GFE is all the way through what was Wizrobes 2. He's going to go into his first Torches room in just a moment here. Got enough magic to make that easy, and luckily there turns out that the enemy on Torches 1 today was just a bat, so no giant spike balls to avoid today. Now, Sabotender probably doesn't want to use his fairy yet, so got to be a little careful.
Well, I mean, as long as he can get through here, there's always the safety room.
This next room is not easy in this. It's quite difficult to get through this one room without taking any damage there. There's so many things that will hurt you.
But even so, even if he uses his fairy, he can just get another in the safety room.
That's true. That is true. As we get what is that? An 8-eye Moldorm there in Moldorm 2 today?
I missed it. I was looking at the pre-gauntlet room. That is an 8-eye Moldorm. That he has very good vision.
Yeah, that's probably one of the harder Moldorms to fight because you don't actually know where the front is. A little bit. You're trying to figure it out, but yeah, there you are.
And Yagamoth mirrors in a hurry because Freddy found the big key, so we will not see what's in Ice Armov's location.
Alright, so we've got all 4 runners here in GT, but GFE and Sabotender are definitely ahead. GFE in Aga 2, Sabotender in the Gauntlet right now. Freddy not too far behind him, but is probably just far enough behind this to, barring something pretty significant here. Smartly, though, using the Ether Medallion there to take out some of those shadows there as Aga 2 goes down over on GFE's side. This is another moment where we might have to mention Freddy did not pick up a lamp. Now, he's got a cold stare fight coming up that he'll have to be a little bit more judicious with his magic use. He can't just get up there and just spam Fire Rod because I don't think we've got any sort of like magic refill for him. So he's going to have to kind of be aware of that. GFE into the Ganon fight here, already into phase 2. Looks like going for the 1-1 here. Might not get it. Gonna have to be a little careful here, deciding to just go ahead and burn a red potion there to make sure he doesn't die.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I mean, well, it's GFE. He has to take the requisite Ganon fall or he wouldn't be GFE.
That is true. I mean, GFE taking a Ganon fall is tradition. Tradition like any other. And we tease him because he's in first place right now.
Yes. And by a comfortable margin, even if he did take a Ganon fall, I think he'd still be first.
Right, so he's into phase 4 there, misses the torch glitch, so gonna have a little bit of issues here, but does set up Ganon. That looks like a pretty good triple location. There's 1, 2, and 3. Nice. All right, and one more should do it, and that is going to be done for GFE as he takes down Ganon. As long as he doesn't press up too soon, he's fine. He'll be just fine. He's doing great today. And we're going to go ahead and get him across the line in just a moment.
Did you see how the 8-eyed Moldorm and Sabotender's side saw in so many directions it just got confused and stuck itself in a corner?
As it does.
But yes, GFE has an official time of 1:21:05. Quite nice.
Yeah, well done on a very interesting little seed there, kind of requiring all of the runners to go pretty much everywhere. Sabotender making his way. Looks like he's probably going to be the second person. He's at least going to be the second person into the Ganon fight. Now, Freddy getting through the torches room, no problem there. Stopping to pick up a quick heart.
Honestly, this will be a nice win for Sabotender to have because I know he wasn't feeling great about being 0-4 so far on the season.
Well, he won't be 0-4.
Just being able to get a win before the season ends, will be nice for him.
Yeah, no, definitely. As Yagamoth is into his cold stare fight, takes him down. Freddy dealing with the 8-eyed Moldorm.
Nice spin to get it in 2 hits.
And
Hey, now that Freddy has the compass, we know that the boss of the tower is Aga too, right?
Yeah, that's how it works. That would actually be kind of funny if that's actually how it worked. Unfortunately, Sabotender missing the one-on-one here, but is going to honestly almost get rewarded for missing the one-on-one here. Ganon's just going to put himself in the best position possible for Sabotender here. Just that top right corner spins and spins and spins. And then take our cape out because we got half magic, so we don't necessarily need to worry about it today. As long as we don't hug him, everything's going to be okay.
And we have GFE in the waiting room, so let's see if we can get him up here and he can critique his teammate's Ganon fight. Hey, GFE, GG. Yes, I was saying we need you to critique Sabo's Ganon fight here.
Hey, thanks for the GGs. That will require me to actually pull up the stream.
Oh, well then. It's okay, he's on phase 4 anyway.
Yeah, he's going to be done here. He's got, I think, one more.
I won't mention what happens.
Oh no. Are you serious?
Does he do the thing? Does he do the thing? No, he doesn't do the thing.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess you'll have to wait.
Now you've got us in suspense.
Okay. Well, yep, Sabotender there holding up his sword. He's going to go walk across the line and finish in second place in this thing. That's going to give the win to Sphere-finity. So get your GGs in chat for them.
GG, Sabo.
Friday on phase 4 of Ganon as well. So how did you feel that went there, GFE?
Honestly, the only thing that I felt kind of bad on the whole seed was after Swamp. I was torn, like, do I go check Bombo's tablet before going to Pyramid Fairy? But I could not justify it, because if I go to Bombo's tablet, then I'm going to Aga and Desert. I'm not going back to Pyramid Fairy. So if I had just checked Bombos and then gone for Pyramid Fairy, we go mode Ice Palace and we go mode TR. So that would have been, like, amazing.
Not but that TR was very go-modable given the location of the big key and the last small key.
I tried.
I mean, I guess you save Mimic Cave at that point, but that's about it.
I mean, for the second player, you get to skip Firelock side, so that's nice.
True.
Except when you try to skip the Poke Key, because that's a smart thing to do when the key's vanilla.
And we are also joined by Sabotender. GG, dude.
Hey, yeah, thanks. GG's. GG.
You finally got a win to, you know, make you feel less awful about League, right?
Yes,
we weren't letting
yeah.
Sabo go win this.
It's a pretty good feeling, I'm not gonna lie. To have kind of a rough go of it this season, you know, it's been really nice just to be playing with my teammates. But to come in to the last week with a win, is really nice feeling for sure. Yeah, did a little bit of I don't know if GFE already mentioned, we did a little bit of practice earlier in the week and had some kind of rough seeds, and so, you know, we were prepared for the worst, and then this one came up, and it, you know, really wasn't too bad. We communicated pretty well, I think, and yeah.
I mean,
yeah, we could tell you were communicating because the moment GFE got the flute, you mirrored the heck out of Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard to tell him to go back in there, but there was so little left. Like, you just can't skip that.
And get your GGs in for Yagamoth, who will be finishing third here.
Right on. Is it Freddy that finished?
Oh, sorry, Freddy already finished. Sorry, we totally missed that. I'm sorry.
Poor Freddy. No respect. No respect.
We
like Freddy. Freddy's fine.
Deep apologies to Freddy, who did finish third at 125.38, as Yagamoth is right behind at 126.54. And we are
speaking of the guy who, speaking of the guy who finished third, Drossi, got Freddy here in chat.
You didn't miss anything. Don't worry about it.
The problem is Freddy didn't have usable audio, so once Sphere-finity finished, we were on Yagamoth's audio, and that's all I was listening to.
That's a fair point.
Excuses.
Yes.
Yo,
I mean, we could have
GG's
switched to
Reddit.
my audio. It would have been really quiet, but
Yeah, big GG's, man.
Yeah,
GG's,
definitely
yeah.
GG's.
That sounds like you guys ratted the heck out of that one. We did
Yeah.
not.
Well,
Mm.
you guys just took a bit to do Pyramid Fairy. That was really
I mean, we found Fire
Mm.
Rod really late, which meant we didn't even have access to Pyramid Fairy until I was already basically like, we had
Yeah.
Meyer left at
Right.
that point, and that's
Mhm.
and then Fire Rod location was not great for me. Like I did,
No.
I skipped the lamp and decided to go straight up the mountain, which did full right, and then Yaga followed me up because something had to be up there, right? Found just a
Yeah.
whole bunch of money and nothing else on, I think 2 hearts maybe on right side. And then I'm like, oh well, I have the cane, so yeah, and Yagamoth can't really do Spike Cave, so I'll just run straight over and do Spike Cave after Hook Shot. So went down and did Spike Cave for another 20 rupees. Like, okay, well, I'll just come
Oof.
back if Yaga finds something, and yeah, can you just go check down that, and I'll go to front of. Cause I remember we hadn't done the back of Skullwoods. I'm like, oh, something has to be back of Skullwoods or Meyer or something. Is gonna be dumb. He finds a fire,
Ugh.
like I'm Floyd running over there. And this is before we had the flute too, by the way. Like,
so. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
backing up then, because the mountain play was kind of key for getting that fire rod. I know GFE did pod pretty quickly, and Freddie, you and Yagamoth put that off a little bit. Can you talk about your routing strategies there in terms of pod?
neither of us thought to go straight to pod after getting the hammer, and yeah, honestly, not the hammer, the
Well, that
the glove.
that east side of the map kind of bullied you with poor Eastern Palace just doing you guys in, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so you didn't want
We
to be
both
over there at all.
died. Yeah, I could have saved and quit. We had already last location glove at that point because I think,
Oh.
yeah, because we had even done
Yeah.
a Gina because Yaga did. We did Zora early, so we got the hammer pretty early. But
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that
so like
makes a lot of
basically, so I died to a Gibdo in Lost Woods and decided to go grab Saha before
Yeah.
doing Kak. So I did Saha before Kak, so that was another reason we didn't really want to go for the Eastern. I thought about doing Eastern, but then you found Moon Pearl and Mirror and stuff, and Kak. I'm just gonna go back to Kak. Screw it. So I went back to
Well.
Kak. He took the flippers and went straight to Hobo into Zora, while I did South Shore Dam over to Ice Rod Cave. And then I found the sword, so he went and did the sword over to Gina, and at that point it's like, well, I guess we all to go do the castle real quick and just see if I can't get to the back or something.
Right.
Ended up getting like halfway there. I ended up getting the Dark Cross chest at least. Didn't quite make it to the full back, but I've done enough Kiss Priestess to know that it was a losing battle anyway. I should have just left when I got the Dark Cross. So yeah, and then he was heading to grab Eastern, and I followed him. So that was
Right.
last location glove.
Yeah, and Dark Cross was the map just to insult you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, I actually, like, we did our early route worked very well for this seed, because we did north-south cat, kind of comboed it, and got all that, and then after CAC, I had a bow, but I had no arrows, so I'm like, I don't really want to go to the castle, because I can't really do much there, so I'm like, I'm going to Saha Eastern, and Sabo went South Shore, and I mean, that's all you had to do.
Yeah.
And
Pretty much.
so,
As long as you didn't skip Hobo.
so
Exactly,
exactly. So after that, we got our Dark World access. I did Hype Cave into Pod, cleared it, went to the Pyramid to Mirror and do Hyrule Castle then. Skipped Dark Cross because I knew map was still at large, and then later did Back of Escape because I knew Key was available, and saw Dark Cross was just map, so I saved that time too.
Yeah, that definitely helped.
And then GFE, we were wondering when you did Meyer whether you were going to check Desert Ledge, because Sexy Ganons had scouted that out pretty early. They knew their Tempered Sword was there. You guys didn't.
Did they?
Oh yeah,
did they use...
we didn't even check Agina. That's right, because Yagamoth checked the ledge and then died after that before actually getting to Agina.
Oh man,
we had so many like just not great early deaths. It was unfortunate.
Oh, that is too bad.
Yeah, as far as that sword goes, like, I mean, we were in go mode. I was debating, like, do I do Mire Shed before Mire? Then I was like, no. I'm probably gonna find at least one item inside. Maybe it's a sword. And if I get nothing, then I'll quickly do Mire Shed. And after Mire Shed, I'm like, well, I'm mirroring here to Flute, so there's no point not checking Desert Ledge. And then I dashed down there and just had to make sure I dodged the duck, and I'm good.
Hey, I found the second item in Mire.
Oh,
I guess what it was? It was on the cutscene chest, yeah.
Oh.
10 arrows, 10 arrows.
Worth
it. Was
it.
a single rupee on big key chest in left side swamp. But at least the big key was in the big chest.
Yep.
My Mire was very tense, more than it needed to be, because I did not use the medallion in the first room at first. Got bullied to death. Ended up going to the basement on like 2 hearts, and forgot I had a red potion from Pyramid Fairy. And then right before I got to the boss room, I was like, wait a minute, I've got a red potion. So that made that a lot better, because Moth in that room, if I had not had, like, if I only had 1 or 2 hearts, would have actually been pretty tense if he'd wanted to stay up top. I mean, I could have fire rocked him to death, but
yeah, I actually did that in the dark with like 3 hearts, but I did capture a fairy from on the way to Fire Rod. So
yeah,
I'm like, I'm
I don't
gonna a
remember
fairy
all
one
the
here.
enemies. I want to say the enemies weren't that rude, at least, so that was positive.
It was fine. Like I literally learned a strat and got to use it the same day at the same race, like Yagamoth.
Nice.
There's apparently, so we found out a new strat. You just dash straight down into the wall and bounce back, and then hookshot to the left, and it's basically free for Dark Mire with boots and hookshot.
So you guys were mentioning Swamp. How about the conveniently positioned Wall Master in one diver down room and Fire Bar in the other?
I bombed them both. I'm so happy with myself.
I mean, I'd honestly rather shout out the Guardians of Turtle Rock, because if you don't have,
that was a good one too.
If you
and the
don't
Guardians
have,
of the Pyramid.
Oh yeah, that was something.
Those were rollers.
I'm still pretty hyped at my hook speed escape from Pyramid without getting hit by those.
That's pretty good, yeah.
But yeah, like I was thinking, I think Freddy said that he actually didn't use Caper Burner to open TR, but like I can imagine if those chomps want to, it might be impossible to pick up that rock.
It was pretty tight.
They just want to keep eating you.
They both hit me to the left, and then at the same time, so I had time to grab it before they rushed again. But I lost 6 hearts doing it, so it was not worth it.
Nice.
Yagamoth's like, I'm just gonna cape that.
Do the smart thing.
I'm gonna say, play of the game for me was choosing to actually pick up Burna after Hype Cave. Because I didn't get powder, and this would have been a nice seed to have it in, just because anti-fairies, especially in the middle of Skullwoods, where they always exist every single time, are awful.
Not wrong.
Yeah,
I didn't grab powder either, so I just did Swamp into Blue Cane into Ice Palace, and then of course I died in the actually I died to the anti-fairy before the bomb dropped down, but lost most of my health in the switch room. Those red Igors bullied me.
Oof.
Wasn't a bad death, because just start of Ice Palace, but wasn't fun. Thankfully, the boss was just a pretty easy fight. It was
Argus.
One of the Arguses, yeah.
We had 2 Argus, 2 Landmo. Did we see another double?
Did we have 2 Landmo?
Yeah, you had 2 Landmo. We were still missing Armos Knights. Yeah, if Yagamoth had just made it a little bit farther before you found the big key, we would have found out what was in Ice Armos.
Yeah.
Because Armos Knights had to either be in Ice Armos or Desert Boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one would have been another double, yeah.
Yeah, and the other one would have been anything except for Landmo or Argus.
Right.
What I want to say about one of the recent update, Compass in this mode is so nice.
Right.
Like, I know Freddie was telling us about their problems in Eastern. Did y'all, like, you said Yaga died going to the big key chest. Did y'all ever try to go back for it, or just choose to
No,
skip
he
it?
did. He did it after Eastern, and then found out the boss was
Found
Trinex
it
and
was
left.
Trinex.
Yeah. So it was nice that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had both
Knowledge.
already died twice in there trying to figure out what the boss was. Huh?
See, yeah, that's the problem. But yeah, getting that knowledge was actually pretty nice because
Yeah.
normally I would go back to the boss like
Mm-hmm.
before that update. But you get that compass, you're like, you don't have to waste all the time in those trash dark rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were not great. Well, I mean, actually, Pod wasn't bad. Like,
No,
No,
Pod
that's
was
true.
I actually don't think most of the dark, other than the Eastern dark rooms.
Eastern's always bad.
Yeah, the Eastern ones are always bad anyway. But like, other than the Eastern dark rooms, the rest were easy. Like, yeah, I guess just like I didn't even bother fire routing the turtle room and Pod because he's like, I was just ether. They're all shadows. Like, oh, okay. So I did that.
Yeah, that's one reason that I felt very comfortable going into Pod was I already had red mail. I mean, sure, I was on 5 hearts, but I had red mail and I had every single medallion. So
Yeah. Shoutouts
was
to
not a
3
concern.
medallions like 15
Mhm.
minutes into the seed.
Oh man. But GG's, that's a lot of
GG's
fun.
again. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I-
GG's once again to all our runners here.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say I'm not a little disappointed that this is a, winner gets playoffs sort of thing, because if things had gone differently last week for either of our teams, could have potentially been fighting for that, but it's still,
Would have been close.
Yeah.
for sure. Still good to get a nice win here at the end, just for confidence boost.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
can't say
Well,
I wouldn't
I-
be sad to try to get to second and third, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll have
I
to
mean,
try to make up for it in the next one.
Sphere-finity is contractually required to be within a game of 500 either way.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah.
pretty much true. We have to make sure that we're one team out of playoffs every season.
Yes.
That's our goal.
That's our goal. Yeah.
Not to
But it's
mention
a valid goal, yeah.
the most important goal that has occurred tonight is the fact that with this win, I am guaranteed to remain the only Sphere-finity member to still not have a losing record.
This guy scores all the points for the team.
No, I just give all the hard.
You're the
I give
carrier.
all the hard matches to you guys. That's it.
But unless you guys have something else, we should probably wrap here.
Mm-hmm. I'll
Sounds
just shout out to you guys for doing commentary, and Scott G and Sarah Yu for doing tracking. This is my last race of the season, so I want to thank my teammates, GFE and P-Train. They've been excellent dudes all season long, putting up with my garbage play. So yeah, I'm just so happy to be part of the team, and yeah, I'm looking forward to joining up with these guys next season, whenever that may be.
And on that note, Freddie, do you guys know who's playing in your remaining match? I mean, of course, you have the playoffs as well.
I think it'll be me and Fant. Scheduling is tough. I think I need to actually talk to you guys, but it'll probably be Friday.
Right on.
So Yagamoth gets a nice long break because, of course, we take the break
week
next
off.
week for
SG Live.
SpeedGaming Live, and then the following week, the Invitational League has off just to stagger the playoffs between Open and Invitational. So
We have
Oh,
2
nice.
more weeks off? Oh, wow. What am I going to do with all that time?
yeah. Well, we thought there'd be more SGL races during SGL, and therefore,
Fair enough.
Invitational players playing during SGL. But so be it, right?
Yeah, right on.
And that said, we do have one more Invitational League race tonight. We have at 11:10 on SpeedGaming 2, we have Mogliacci versus Swirly Coin Brewing, 2 teams that have both clinched playoffs and are just going to be jockeying for position
First
now
place.
for seeding.
They're actually both tied in first place. So
I
should
thought
be a
Swirly
good
Coin's
match.
1 game back.
Oh, wait. Nope, never mind. I was looking at Skull Kids. It both starts with an S. So
But yeah,
They're still
both
fighting
up
for first
there.
place, kind of.
Yeah, I mean they have a shot. They both have a shot at first place.
Yeah, Sculpin's Kids is playing fourth place, so.
So that's over there. And my commentary partner, Dazed Cloud, will actually be commentating that one as well. He actually stepped out to get a bite to eat between matches here. But be sure to check that one out. Or if you want something a little different on SpeedGaming Main, we're going to have in 20 minutes Zelda 2 Randomizer. A bit quirky, but one of my personal favorites for randos, very different from ALTTPR. And yeah, there are plenty of other things, so definitely give the SpeedGaming family of channels a follow, and also the ALTTPR League channels a follow, where we do a lot of these matches as well. And yes, our tracker SerUX is also remarking that the ALTTPR League main channel is having an open league match coming up, in fact, in 15 minutes. So you can check that out too. All sorts of options for the evening. So thanks again to Seru and Scott for doing the tracking. Once again, thanks to our runners. Be sure to give them all a follow. Yeah, happy randoing.